What I'm about to say might excite you, it might depress you, it might give you cause for celebration, and it might give you cause for despair. Regardless of what your personal opinion about this fact is, I do hope that what I'm about to say will give you hope. The fact is that South Africa is failing, and that it is reasonable to conclude that South Africa will continue to fail, at least under the present circumstances and for the foreseeable future. The fact that the ship is headed in the wrong direction has become less important than the fact that the ship is sinking. South Africa has a leadership vacuum, a vacuum that is growing, but the problem with vacuums is that they naturally tend to be filled. And in South Africa, there are many bad actors eagerly seeking to fill the void, including extremist movements, corrupt politicians, and organized crime. This is why it has become more important than ever to reopen the discussion about the future of this piece of land that we know as South Africa. This is not just important for the people living in South Africa, but for the rest of the world and the Western world in particular, because there is a growing consensus that in many ways, South Africa is not behind the rest of the world, but ahead. Ahead in the sense that the communities of South Africa are experiencing problems that many other nations, but Western nations in particular, might experience in the future. And ahead in the sense that we have the opportunity to develop solutions that might contribute to more sustainable political systems elsewhere in the world, and especially to the future of the West. We need to work out what South Africa might become and how to prepare for the worst, but also what South Africa could become and how to work toward achieving the best. And while we do this, we need to take a stance against destructive ideas while advocating for more sustainable and tangible solutions. As a point of departure, we are convinced that a major contributing factor to the crisis in South Africa is the extent to which the country has become politically centralized. And thus, the decentralization of the political system should be a major part of the solution. Decentralization could take many forms, including a federation, different forms of autonomy, and so forth. But the fundamental principle ought to be self-governance, or to put it more plainly, freedom. Freedom not just for citizens, but for the various communities living within what we know as South Africa. This is why I'm using this opportunity to announce the Pioneer Initiative. The focus of the Pioneer Initiative would be twofold. First, it will serve as a think tank working toward the solutions I mentioned above. It will determine good and bad scenarios, how to shield us against potential crises, and how to contribute toward potential solutions. Second, it will serve as a pressure group against destructive ideas and in favor of more sustainable solutions. It will work toward garnering support for more sustainable solutions among the various communities and peoples living within South Africa, but also within the international community. I need you to join this initiative by becoming a contributor. We will not have a call center, and we have no intention of calling you except when you want us to call you. You can contribute with a click of a button, and you will be able to stop your contribution with the click of a button. Becoming a contributor will also provide you with the opportunity to contribute to the discussion about the crises that we want to prevent and the solutions that we want to pursue, to the extent that you want to become more actively involved. If you are hesitant, I would encourage you to sign up for just 1 year, which could be cancelled at any time. I am already convinced that within this first year, we will start to deliver on the things that I have mentioned, and that you will have the assurance that your contribution is put to good use. We are already working with some of the best experts in the country and some of the most influential media outlets and podcasters in the world, all of which would be revealed in time as we prepare for the final launch of this initiative in the coming months. But I want to be clear, in order to get this initiative up and running, we would need support. I am going all in, but without your support, the initiative is bound to fail. I'm an Afrikaner. I descend from a people and a family that has lived in South Africa for several centuries, who helped to develop the Cape, who participated in the Great Track, who made the vow of 1838, who established the Boer republics, who fought several wars of independence, who helped to modernize and industrialize the country, who made some mistakes, they were humans after all, but who contributed to leaving something behind of which we can reap the benefits today. I mention this because you, the viewer, also descend from a community and a family with a rich history, and because we have the same responsibility to our descendants. Through this initiative, we intend to work actively toward a sustainable future for the Afrikaner people, but the Pioneer Initiative will work toward this goal in cooperation with other communities while contributing to the same goal for others. This is a preliminary announcement. We have already set up a non-profit company with a preliminary website that will be expanded on in the weeks to follow as our support and contributions grow. But I need to stress once again that we will not succeed in this initiative if we don't have your support. I look forward to welcoming you as a contributor to the Pioneer Initiative and working with you toward these solutions.